Hey y'all, we didn't get a ton of time to really go over SMART goals and to truly dissect and analyze them. So this will be a quick little lecture and overview on writing SMART goals. Now, throughout this semester, you'll be learning how to assess a client, both a pediatric and adult client, based on the results of either your standardized assessment or your non-standardized assessment. Now, remember what the difference between those two types of tests are. Standardized, norm referenced, criterion referenced, specific procedures, specific script, specific equipment, specific setup. Non-standardized, perhaps a subset of your standardized assessment that you have adapted and modified to meet the needs of a particular client. Your analysis of occupational performance. So there is not a standardized rubric for the delivery and execution of the assessment. So you've done your assessments, you've gathered your information. Now, how are you going? You've identified the barriers and strengths of the client. You've created your occupational profile. You've analyzed their performance. Now, how do you help them improve in the areas that they've identified and the areas that you've identified through your assessment that are weaknesses of them, that areas that they have deficits? How are you going to help them get there? You write goals. Interventions are not goals. Treatment activities are not goals. These are specific areas that you are addressing with the client. Now, as we've discussed, these goals need to be significant, simple, and specific. They are client-centered and occupation-based. Increasing range of motion is not necessarily occupation-based. How do you put that in the context of occupation? Again, depending on the practice setting, that might look a little bit different. So if you are working strictly from a biomechanical frame of reference, you are working strictly on increasing range of motion of a wrist that just had some sort of surgery, that might be appropriate. So again, looking at the specific location that you're working in, the type of client will also help determine that occupation-based component. It needs to be measurable. So we're including an assistance level, we're including position, we're including any sort of strategies that they need to complete this task, any sort of adaptive or assistive equipment or DME. It needs to be achievable. We're not writing a goal for going from max assist to independent within 1 week or 3 sessions. That is not realistic. It's not achievable. So they're small, concise, simple. They are specific. They are achievable. They need to be relevant and customized to the client. You might have a similar goal that you work on with all of your traumatic brain injury clients in terms of cognition, but you have tailored it to meet the needs of the client specifically. It's not the same goal that you use with each client. Your long-term goal and your short-term goals need to be related to each other. So I will not be writing a goal for supervision with toilet transfers and then writing as my long-term goal, and then writing a short-term goal that is upper body dressing. Those are not related to each other. They are ADLs, but they're not related to each other. If I write a long-term goal that is client will be supervision with toilet transfers at ambulatory level within 1 week, my short-term goal might be client will transition sit to stand from edge of bed with contact guard assist in preparation for toilet transfer. So within 3 sessions. So those 2 goals are related to each other. And it needs to be time limited. please avoid using by discharge. That is a very nebulous, no time frame really attached to that. And that time limitedness also really correlates with discharge planning. So when you have assessed your client, you've synthesized and interpreted their information, you've identified what their length of stay is. They're going to be with you for 2 weeks. You're going to see them 5 times a week for 60 minutes or 90 minutes. So by the time they're finished with you, that long-term goal is maybe that 2 weeks. But within those 2 weeks, they will be supervision with toilet transfers if they're Max Assist now. And within that short-term goal will be maybe within 1 week or 3 to 4 sessions that they're able to complete X, Y, and Z task. So the synthesis and analysis of your assessment will help you define the length of stay. So that's time, number of days a week, duration, how many weeks that you're going to see them. And so that will help with the development of your SMART goals. When you think about discharge planning, that happens the moment we clap eyes on the person, and it happens as every time we see the client. So as we do our reassessment, this is how we update our goals and identify that they're making progress. So I hope this was helpful, and I will see you all next week.